And good morning. It's just after 6 o'clock. I hope your Wednesday is going well so far. You found the Breakfast with Bubba show. Since we last talked, we flew across the country from California to Florida. We're in Fort Walton Beach, about 6 miles from Hurlburt Base. That's where we find Josh Hock of Manchester, and he's our guest this morning, along with Bank of Ann Arbor and 102.9 W4 Country.
102.9
2.9 W4 Country and George Strait. Write this down in the Breakfast with Bubba show. We are in Florida this morning. It's Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
We have Brian Welch with the forecast.
Fairly sunny, but highs just in the low 50s.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Well, I finally have a weather leg up on you on this in this trip. It's about 80 today, but it is cloudy. There's not a one lick of sunshine out here in Florida.
Oh darn.
Well, you'll be okay.
I think I will be. We're here with Josh Hock. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Josh is in the Air Force. He's from Manchester. We'll be spending the next 3 hours with him, finding out what life is like for a kid from Manchester who ended up in the Air Force and down here, where he's been, how his journey got him there, and more. Right now, let's take a quick look at your traffic. Madison Raleigh has that. 102.9 W4 Country. Luke Bryan, that's what makes you country. Good morning. It's a Breakfast with Bubba show. We're in Fort Walton Beach, Florida this morning with Josh Hock from Manchester. And you guys, I'm so sorry. I kind of blew this broadcast today. I really had no idea that we were on Central Time here.
My goodness.
Curse you, Panhandle!
We give you one job.
The thing is, I met friends for dinner last night. I guess I was just an hour late.
Whoops. Well,
or now. Would I be an hour early or an hour late? I guess I was an hour late.
It doesn't start until Bubba gets there anyway.
It was kind of weird though. I got to the table and everybody was there.
Yeah, because you would have been an hour late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're on Central Time this morning, quite early in Florida. Josh, good morning. Thank you so much for being part of the show today.
Thank you.
Tell us what you do in the Air Force.
I'm an aircraft maintainer, do electrical and environmental work on them.
Very cool. How did you decide on the Air Force?
I went to college for a little bit and decided that was not for me. So I looked at other avenues and I found the Air Force and it just fit.
Very good. Now, when you got in, did they assign you to be an aircraft maintainer, or is that something you kind of found along the way?
So after I took my ASVAB, which is your vocational test for military, I scored high enough and I got to pick whatever I wanted. And the job that I do now is exactly what I wanted. So I got that.
Very cool. More with Josh coming up in a few moments. Eric Church, some of it is on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country, and some of it's Eric Church in the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. We are in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. It's Bubba. We have Madison Raleigh, Brian Welch, Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor, all part of the broadcast here. And Josh, tell us a little bit about your journey into the Air Force. You were in college where?
I went to Eastern Michigan.
Very cool. And then you decided to join the Air Force. Where is Air Force basic training?
Air Force basic training is in Lackland, which is San Antonio, Texas.
Is it like you see in the movies as far as basic training goes, where they come in and scream at you, like dump your bed upside down, stuff like that? Or is the Air Force a little more tempered?
The first week is a lot of yelling. And then after that, it's pretty relaxed. I mean, they're still yelling, but mostly just hardcore, mostly schooling and drill.
Very cool. It's like working with Madison. She yells a lot, but you get used to it after a little while. So it's like working with her 1 week and then
I don't yell so much if you pay attention. They stop yelling at you in the Army when you start paying attention. Once you have it down, they don't need to yell as much.
More with Josh coming up in a moment. Chris Lane right now, Big Plans, is on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Chris Lane, Big Plans, and the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. Live in Fort Walton Beach, Florida this morning with Josh Hock of Manchester. He works hard for us in the Air Force, and we're finding out about his life. I don't have a travel partner this time around. COVID came in and changed the whole look of all of this. I'm so glad we're doing the domestic trip, though. We've met some really cool people. It's fun hanging out with Josh here. Heather Rhodes did not get to travel with us from Bank of Ann Arbor, but Heather, I did get a text from Dave Norton from Bank of Ann Arbor this morning. In fact, it woke me up.
Yeah, I got a phone call also. So he's not happy with us.
I said that Heather was the easiest one to travel with out of the whole group, and she was. I just forgot the rest of the group listens.
No offense to Heather, but I know that Dave is pretty placid.
Dave, you were wonderful to travel with as well. Bank of Ann Arbor has been supporting this for years. Why?
We think it's so important to be able to say thank you to our servicemen and women around the world, around our country too. I mean, it's great that we're doing a local one, local to the United States this year because they're a lot of times away from their families too.
Yeah, I tell you what, away from home is away from home, no matter where you are. And even though it's only 1,000 miles, it could feel like a million at some point. We'll talk to Josh about his family, who I understand was very excited about the show this morning. And we'll do that coming up after a check on your W4 Country traffic. Hey, Madison. Beer never broke my heart. It's Luke Combs on 102.9 W4 Country as we salute Michigan military with the VA Ann Arbor Medical System and Bank of Ann Arbor this week as we travel from sea to shining sea. We started in Honolulu on Monday. Tuesday was San Diego. Today, Wednesday, we are in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Tomorrow we'll be in Virginia Beach, Virginia, as we go from sea to shining sea and see a lot of this great country. We're here with Josh Hock this morning of Manchester. We have Madison Raleigh back in the studio. We have Brian Welch with the forecast.
Pretty sunny, but highs just low 50s.
All right. I'm not going to get any sun on this trip, I don't think, unless Virginia Beach surprises us. It's very cloudy here this morning.
Well, so sorry for you.
Thank goodness Tropical Storm Theta isn't headed your way.
That's right. Are we in the path of that here?
We are not. That one's headed out into the open Atlantic, but it is a record-setting 28th, I think, named storm.
Now, have you had to deal with any tropical storms while you're here?
Every single year.
Every year. What's it like?
We basically have to gather up everything, pack up, leave for a couple of days, and come back and continue on.
Where do you go?
Most of the planes go up to Arkansas.
You just like hang out in Arkansas until it's over.
We don't. So the personnel, they just kind of stay around unless there's a direct hit happening. But we have to get all our assets out just in case, prevent any kind of damage.
So they fly the planes out, but you just kind of hang tight and wait.
Pretty much.
Have you gone through any like direct hits or very near misses?
The last one, Hurricane Sandy, was the closest one. And then a couple of years ago, the one that hit Panama City was also a pretty close hit.
Yeah, that's not too far from here.
No, it's only about an hour.
In fact, this is weird. The hotel I'm in, guys, I'm staying in a Marriott Courtyard, which, they're the thing that's nice about Courtyard is they're all the same. If you go into a Courtyard in Denver, it's the same as a Courtyard in Ann Arbor. They're decorated the same. They look the same. That's part of it because, business people are on the road and they want to feel like they're at home. This one is built on stilts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like the first floor is nothing. The first floor is just a door and elevator to get up.
You stay dry.
The lobby is, and I imagine that's because of the hurricane stuff, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So we are, even though we're on the third floor, we're on the fourth floor here at this hotel. More with Josh coming up in just a little bit. We're in Florida. This is Carrie Underwood Smoke Break on 102.9 W4 Country.
There's something on my muff.
Yeah, I can tell.
What was that?
There's something on my microphone. It looks weird.
Not as weird as my microphone.
No, your sock.
That's true. It could be worse.
Did you expect me talking into a foot, Josh?
That was a surprise. All right, here's Carrie Underwood.
102.9 W4 Country and Carrie Underwood Smoke Break and the Breakfast with Bubba show saluting Michigan military from sea to shining sea along with Bank of Ann Arbor this morning. We're in Fort Walton Beach with Josh Hock of Manchester. Now, you said you work in aircraft maintenance.
Correct.
What kind of planes do you work on?
I work on the AC-130J, which is the gunship. All of you Call of Duty fans would know about that one.
Oh, yeah.
I need to look at that. Welch, are you familiar with that one?
I know the AC-130, and I've played a little bit of Call of Duty.
Boy, I haven't. Very, very rarely do I get an airplane thing that I don't know. I don't know what that one is.
Whoa, that's crazy.
We'll need to watch some video, huh?
Yeah. Also, the first Transformers movie. It's also in that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's where I recognize it.
That's how he knows it. It is not because of the video games. It's because of the Transformer movies.
That's where I recognize it.
Does that make it better, Madison?
I don't know, but it makes more sense to me now.
Makes you guys feel better.
Right. More from Florida coming up in just a couple of moments. Right now, we've had some nightmarish traffic this week. How's it looking this morning, Madison? 102.9 W4 Country and Jason Aldean. You make it easy. And the Breakfast with Bubba show. We're in Fort Walton Beach, Florida this morning. It's Bubba, Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
Brian Welch.
Hello.
Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the trip.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're happy to do it.
And Veterans Day week is always very special with Bank of Ann Arbor. Look, let's see, today officially Veterans Day. Is today the day the branches are green?
Yes, the branches are green today. And we're also posting a collage of service men and women who have some relation to our team of bankers. So look out for that.
Very cool. We'll link that over to our stuff too. So if you're driving and can't remember that, we'll put that on Facebook.com/W4Country and make sure you see all that. They care about veterans and our military just a ton over Bank of Ann Arbor, and we appreciate that. So what did you what do you miss doing for fun in Manchester? What was a typical day like for you back in Michigan?
Well, the country is definitely something I miss. Coming down here, I'm in the city, cooped up in a little townhome. Back home, I had all the land to do whatever I wanted: dirt bike, 4-wheeler, shoot guns, do all that kind of stuff. Can't really do that down here.
Very good. It's hunting season now. Are you missing that?
Yeah, it's one thing I do miss a lot.
Nothing up here in the way of hunting.
There is, but there's a lot of licenses and permits you got to get just to go out.
Okay.
You
Well,
we're going to the military and say, "Listen, I know how to shoot a gun."
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you think you should
Come on.
show up in uniform and say, "Here I am. Give me the license." We've got. Let's see. Are we into Chris Stapleton right now, Welch?
We are.
It's starting over on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Chris Stapleton starting over in the Breakfast with Bubba show from sea to shining sea, Fort Walton Beach, Florida this morning, and a quick little hop this afternoon over to Virginia Beach. That is not that far. We're on Central Time, and I'm glad I know that so I don't miss my plane today, Josh.
Correct. I want to do that.
Would I miss it, Welch, or would I be early?
You would miss it.
Okay. Well, would you do me a favor, buddy, and text me come about noon today and just say, reminder, get to the airport?
I'm confused about the time zone now. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about I just text you a couple hours early?
Perfect.
Look at your phone. Doesn't that just?
Yeah, I guess that did. That does sync to the time. But I really, in my mind, I was on Eastern time. It's like, oh, okay, we're same time as home. Nope. Here we are this morning, struggling through, and I appreciate you listening very, very much. If we could do anything for you, 734-623-1029. You know what I do miss, Heather, about you not being here is you were so great at social media and taking pictures. And when it's me alone, I forget to take pictures of us. So hopefully you're watching along on the stream right here. Poor Dwayne yesterday. We had 2 pictures of Dwayne. That was it.
That's a low number.
Well, there's just the two of you.
That's a low number. So we have a couple pictures of Dwayne, pictures of an aircraft carrier in San Diego, and some pictures of the city there. We are in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. More with Josh Hock from Manchester coming up. Right now, let's find out what's going on in your W4 Country traffic. And good morning. It's just after 7 o'clock. Thank you for listening on this Wednesday as we continue our journey across this beautiful country of ours. We started in Honolulu, Hawaii. We'll be ending in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Along the way, though, we've stopped in Fort Walton Beach, Florida this morning, where we're talking to Josh Hock of Manchester, and more with him coming up from sea to shining sea, brought to you by our friends at Bank of Ann Arbor on 102.9 W4 Country.
102.9.
102.9 W4 Country and love you like I used to. It's Russell Dickerson in the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. Bubba and Madison Rally.
Good morning.
We have Brian Welch with a forecast.
It's fairly sunny today, but highs just in the low 50s.
Boy, that was a big drop off from yesterday.
We had a pretty mean cold front come through overnight.
Any more 70s for Michigan?
Not as far as I can see.
Okay.
Hashtag blame Welch.
Absolutely. Hashtag blame Welch. I'm in Fort Walton Beach. It's 80, but it's cloudy. So hashtag blame Welch. I blame you entirely, my friend.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking in my own best interest when I brought the clouds.
This is true.
Yeah, you got to give him that one.
Brian Welch is the whitest man you've ever seen in your life. If you'd like to see the stream, go to facebook.com/W4Country and you could see the video portion of this and check out Josh Hock, who is in the Air Force right here. Tell us a little bit about Herbert Field.
Herbert Field was a auxiliary field for Eglin Air Force Base, which is the largest Air Force base actually in the United States, on the eastern half at least. They do a lot of testing out here, and They opened up the base in like 1960s to actually become Herbert Field, and now it is home of AFSOC, which is Air Force Special Operations Command.
And I appreciate you going right from the acronym into the definition, because a lot of times when we're with the military guys, we just get acronymed and we have no idea what you're saying.
Right. They always teach us, like, people on the civilian side, they don't know your acronym, so you got to explain it to them.
And I appreciate it. He's doing a good job on that this morning.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick little check on traffic. Madison, what's going on? 102.9 W4 Country, Kenny Chesney, all the pretty girls, and the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. We are live in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, with Josh Hock from Manchester, and we appreciate you taking your time to be with us today. You actually did another radio interview for another station, you said, at Christmas time?
Yeah, when I was deployed a couple years ago, they had a Christmas shout out for all the deployed members if they wanted to say hi to their families.
So he's an old pro at this.
That's cool.
Yeah, we
I
thank
like
you
that
for
they
being here this morning.
like
So
that.
you said you were deployed. Tell us about your path in the Air Force. You went from Eastern Michigan University to basic training, then what?
After basic training, we go to what's called tech school, where we learn to do our actual job. After tech school, I got stationed here at Herbert Field. I've been here for the last 5 years. I deployed twice. I went to Turkey. I've been to Afghanistan, and now I'm just here standing up a new plane. We retired our old gunships, and now we're bringing in new gunships.
Very, very cool. And we'll find out more about his deployments coming up in just a little bit. This is Kane Brown and Lose It on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Kane Brown, Lose It, in the Breakfast with Bubba show. We're with Josh Hock from Manchester, and you went into the Air Force. And I imagine tech school takes a long time when you're learning how to fix airplanes.
It took me about 6 months to go through. So it's really a crash course, and they try to push as much into you as they can. And then once you get on base, then you have another 12 months of on-the-job training that you actually have to do.
Very cool. Now, do you plan on being in the Air Force for an entire career, or are you going to take those skills into the private sector?
I would like to make it a career, whether that means I continue doing my active duty service, or if I cross over and go National Guard or Air Reserve, and then I just go part-time for the rest of my 20 years.
And how old will you be when the 20 years is up?
After 20 years, I'll only be 39.
So you could then go to work for a Delta or United or something and fix airplanes and have a second career, really.
Correct.
Good for you. That's awesome. Coming up, we'll check your traffic. We're going to chat with Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor right now. His name is Parker McCollum, and the song is called Pretty Heart. It's on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Parker McCollum, Pretty Heart, and the Breakfast with Bubba show. Bubba, Madison Raleigh, Brian Welch. We have Josh Hock from Manchester and Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor, who travels with me, but unfortunately is just on a little screen this morning. I still see your smiling face, though.
Just here in the office this time, but hopefully in the future we can either send me or another one of our bankers out with you.
Oh, don't lie. You want you.
Of course I want me. It's so much fun.
Now, you guys do something very cool, Veterans Day, and today is officially Veterans Day, November 11th, where you light up the branches. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so a few years ago, we learned about something, a program called Green Light a Vet, and through our research, we found that the green light indicates that you're an ally to veterans and that you're someone who can help. So every year for Veterans Day, we light up our branches green overnight, and just to let the community know.
That is so very cool, and you guys do a lot within the organization too to highlight people who have had military service or families with military service. Correct?
Yeah, we do a call out every year and ask if any of our bankers have servicemen or women in their lives, and they send along pictures and a little description of what they did, and it's really fun to hear all of their stories that they can share and show family members that they're proud of.
Absolutely. Thank you to Bank of Ann Arbor for being the sponsor this week. We're going to take a check on your news coming up in a moment. Right now, Madison Raleigh has had a brutal week of traffic. Is today going any easier for you? 102.9 W4 Country and more than my hometown. It's Morgan Wallen and the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning with Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
We have Brian Welch with the forecast.
Pretty sunny, but highs just in the low 50s.
Madison, can I bring you anything from Florida? I'm going to have about an hour where I can shop.
Nope, I think I'm good.
Oh. She's still.
Buy my love, honey.
I'm trying to buy your love this week. You know that.
Well, you can. There's two very specific things you can buy for my love, but they're not in Florida.
Okay. And trust me, she'll remind me when I get home of what those are and exactly how I can.
Surprised you don't know.
Yeah,
I've heard
we're with Josh Hock. So, Herbert Field, do you live on base?
No, I live off base.
And what's the living situation for you like here?
I just live in a townhome. Most people, they rent. Some people buy houses, but the military moves around so much. Sometimes they just don't want to have to deal with buying and selling a house all the time.
Very cool. We'll find out what you do for fun. I mean, you're in kind of a fun area here with beaches and stuff like that. Coming up in just a moment. Right now, the Zach Brown Band and Chicken Fried on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Chicken Fried. It's the Zach Brown Band and the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning with Josh Hock from Manchester. We are here in Fort Walton Beach today as we salute Michigan military from sea to shining sea, brought to you by the VA Ann Arbor Medical System and our friends at Bank of Ann Arbor. And we find ourselves in Fort Walton Beach this morning with Josh Hock. Now, this is kind of a cool area to be. You got beaches, you got fishing, you got a lot of stuff to do. What do you do for fun here?
The options are endless, really. I mean, you have everything from boating, jet skis. There's a bunch of different rivers and stuff just north of here for us to go on any kind of water sport you want to. There's the range, so if you like off-roading, stuff like that, there's that. Panama City is an hour down the road one way. Pensacola is the other way. You can go watch the Blue Angels. There's really anything you can think of you can do down here.
Very cool. So as far as a base assignment goes, it's pretty good, huh?
This is definitely one of the most sought-after bases to have.
Good for you. Good for you. What was it like when you got notice that you were deploying? What did you feel?
I was a little nervous at first. I was always wanting to do that. I strived to be the best that I could be when I got here, just so I could go on a deployment. It's kind of a badge of honor, I guess, to be able to deploy with the gunships and AFSOC. So I was nervous at first because I didn't know if I was going to be able to do what everybody else could do on my own. But once I got there, I realized, it's not so bad. And just really killed it out there.
What was your first deployment? Was it Turkey or Afghanistan?
I went to Turkey first.
Where were you in Turkey?
It's a little place in southern Turkey, close to, I think it's Adina. So Incirlik Air Base.
And were you allowed to leave base at all, or were you stuck on base for that deployment?
No, actually, I got there just after the coup in Turkey happened. So we were restricted only on base.
Okay, because that's a cool country. There's a lot of cool stuff to see in Turkey.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah, very cool. More with Josh coming up in a moment. We'll find out what went through his mind when he got notice that he was headed to Afghanistan, which is a little more, how do we say, adventurous than Turkey. Coming up in just a moment on 102.9 W4 Country. Traffic right now with Madison. Good morning. 102.9 W4 Country and Luke Combs. Beautiful, crazy. And the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. We're in Fort Walton Beach with Josh Hock from Manchester. So you deployed to Turkey and you enjoyed that and working on the gunships there. When did you get notice that you were going to Afghanistan?
About 6 months after I got back from Turkey.
Were you terrified?
No, I was actually very excited to go.
Were you really? Because, I mean, you hear about stuff happening like on and near bases in Afghanistan that had to raise it like another level.
It was definitely a lot more intense when I was there. There was a lot higher threat than in Turkey, but it was definitely more prestigious to go there.
Now, Mom is listening right now. What was Mom's reaction when she found out you were going to Afghanistan?
She was definitely nervous. She definitely worried about me. It was not something that she was too thrilled about hearing.
And when you're over there, what's it like? I mean, do you have things like internet where you can stay in touch? Can you make phone calls, or are you just kind of isolated there?
They have Wi-Fi in our little area that we work out of. It's very limited on what you can go and what you can use, but you can be on Facebook and stuff like that, so you can message your family. And they do have a landline there, so you can call home every once in a while as well.
Very good. More with Josh coming up in just a moment. This is John Pardee, and Ain't Always the Cowboy. It's his latest on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and John Pardee, Ain't Always the Cowboy. And the Breakfast with Bubba show, we're in Fort Walton Beach. Boy, through 2 hours already of our 3-hour broadcast. It's going so fast this morning. Thank you for listening along as we broadcast from sea to shining sea. It's Bubba. We have Madison Raleigh, who is doing pretty much all the technical stuff for this broadcast. We appreciate that. Brian Walsh is pushing the buttons. We have Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor hanging out in basically what's like a giant Zoom call for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fun.
But I like your system better than Zoom, Madison.
My system is better than Zoom. Let's be honest.
Your system rocks. And
Far better.
so when you were in Afghanistan, how often would you update? I'm sure it was important for mom to hear from you regularly. How often would you update her?
I tried to give a phone call at least once a week. It was nice just to kind of reach out from home, get a little bit of taste from something other than the same people every day for 12 hours a day.
Because when you're in Afghanistan, you surely don't leave base, right?
No, you don't leave where you work.
You're there. What is the food situation like? Do they have like American restaurants on base for you there?
So they have different dining facilities around the base, and they make food that's edible. It's not the greatest food. They also have some local cuisine that they have contractors that are from the actual country. They come on and they make different food, and those are definitely something you should try.
What was some of your favorite?
They had a little place called Aziz's, and it just had a type of curry, and we went there maybe once a month just to kind of splurge.
Little local flavor there. We're getting a little local flavor from Fort Walton Beach this morning and finding out about Josh's life in the military. He's in the Air Force, and we'll have more with Josh coming up in a moment. Right now, we've got a check on your W4 Country traffic with Madison Raleigh. Good morning. It's just after 8 o'clock as we continue our broadcast from sea to shining sea. We started this week in Honolulu, Hawaii. We're going to end it in Virginia Beach, Virginia tomorrow. But today we find ourselves in Fort Walton Beach, where we're hanging out with Josh Hock of Manchester. We're brought to you by Bank of Ann Arbor as we salute Michigan military on 102.9 W4 Country.
102.
102.9 W4 Country, and I could drink to that all night. It's Jared Neiman and the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. We are live in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. It's Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
We have Brian Welch with the forecast.
Pretty sunny, highs in the low 50s.
All right. Blame Welch for that one, Madison.
Yeah, I'm really okay with it. I like the cold weather.
Aha!
It fits my soul.
Cold, just like your heart. We have about 80 today in Fort Walton Beach, but it's cloudy. Welch and Madison hurled clouds my way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say
It's one of many installments for you this week.
I do have to say, San Diego, I grew up in Southern California. I grew up about 80 miles north of San Diego. It was the most miserable weather I've ever experienced in San Diego in my entire life. It was just awful. It was 50 degrees, 30, 40 mile an hour winds and rain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm blaming you for that one,
Yep.
honey. All right. We are in Fort Walton Beach this morning, and we were talking with Josh about life on base in Afghanistan, and we were surprised to find out that there's a Subway and a Pizza Hut that were on base in Afghanistan. What are those like?
You don't go to Pizza Hut.
Okay, that's just known. You don't go there?
You don't go to Pizza Hut.
Is it not like our pizza?
No, not at all. It's
Okay.
very greasy.
Greasy? Okay, and we're talking only in Afghanistan, not our local franchisees, of course. And then Subway?
You didn't have very many options. You got white or wheat, ham, turkey, and only American cheese.
So not Subway.
Not Subway at all.
Because that's the best part about Subway, right? It's all the options.
Right. Foot-long meatball. That's good. Nope, not there. Turkey, ham, and American cheese.
That's correct.
White or wheat?
We
Yeah, not a lot going on there, huh?
I'm going to take a moment to just process that, and we're going to check our traffic right now. What's going on, Madison? 102.9 W4 Country and Ashley McBride, One Night Standards and the Breakfast with Bubba show. We're live in Fort Walton Beach this morning with Josh Hock from Manchester. Now, Mom is listening back home. How often do you get back home?
A couple times a year, no, 2-3 times.
Very good. Do they ever come down and visit you?
They haven't been here in a while, but they try to come down around spring break time.
Good deal. That's got to be nice to kind of be within a couple-hour flight of home as opposed to being deployed and being like a 24-hour flight from home.
Yeah, that's very true.
Good deal. Anything you want to say to Mom listening right now?
Hello, Mom.
Hello, Mom. Just basic, pretty basic. Hello, Mom. Hello, Welch.
Hello.
Hello, Madison.
Hi.
Hello, Heather. We'll chat with her coming up in just a moment. Right now, Florida Georgia line. This is how we roll on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Florida Georgia line. This is how we roll in the Breakfast with Bubba show. We are in Florida this morning, Fort Walton Beach, and we are with Josh Hock from Manchester. Hurlburt Field is your home, your base. Tell us a little bit about the field, how big it is, and how many folks are there.
It's a very small field. There's not too not too many people there compared to a larger base, but there's still a good 5,000 to 10,000 people that work there total.
Good deal. And how many aircraft do you have stationed there?
Right now we're starting to get pretty short, but we have about 8. There's 3 or 4 other units there that have multiple aircraft. I'm not sure on those.
Okay, so you only know about the aircraft in your particular unit then?
I only know mine specifically very well. The other ones, they come and go. I don't count them.
Okay, very cool. We're with Josh, and more with him in just a moment. We'll talk to Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor next after Dan and Shay. I should probably go to bed. It's 102.9 W4 Country.
Bed.
It's Dan and Shay on 102.9 W4 Country, and I should probably go to bed. Heather, last year when we were doing this, going through Asia and Europe, we literally went around the world. Time zones were a concern, and jet lag was a concern. We felt like we should probably go to bed pretty much the whole time that we were traveling.
Yeah. Sleep would have been really great last trip, but we had a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun, and this is important to Bank of Ann Arbor to sponsor this. They really care about military. Tell us why this is so important to the bank's mission.
Well, first, we want to be able to say thank you in some way to the servicemen and women around the world and around the country, but also it's great to bring light to all the different things that our military does. I mean, last year we met ladies who were nurses and mail carriers, and this year we're meeting interrogators. I mean, there's just so many things that happen within the military that we don't even know about.
Yeah, we've had some really interesting folks this year, from the interrogator Ryan on Monday. Yesterday we had Dwayne, and he was the electronic warfare specialist. Today we have Josh, who is the aircraft maintenance, and really just on the front lines of everything going on. Really interesting folks that we're meeting. Tomorrow we're in Virginia Beach, and we're actually meeting 2 folks. We're meeting Zachary Jewell. He is from Britain, and we're meeting Grant Tungate. Dalton's his brother. Grant Tungate from Manchester. And you actually know Grant?
I do.
Did you grow up together?
He's quite a few years younger than I am, but I know his brother.
Very cool. So be listening to the show on Thursday, and you'll be able to hear how they do compared to you.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, we'll be in Virginia Beach tomorrow. Right now we are here in Fort Walton Beach, and we've got to check on traffic in Ann Arbor with Madison Raleigh. 102.9 W4 Country and Lee Bryce, one of them girls, in the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning with Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
We have Brian Welch with the forecast.
Pretty sunny, but highs in the low 50s.
What can I do to buy her love, Welch? She's angry she didn't get to travel.
I don't think you can buy it. I don't think it's that easily solved. I think it requires a constant effort.
Yes.
I was going to say there's great seafood down here, but I really can't bring that home to you.
Nope. I would rather have it fresh.
Yeah. Do you take advantage of the seafood down here? It's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. It's the best you can get.
It is absolutely the best you can get. I went to a great place last night. Beauchamp's Seafood and Oyster Bar. Have you ever been there?
Beauchamp's is good.
Yeah, good stuff. And that I would weigh 300 pounds if I lived here eating all the food. I know that it's seafood is healthy for you, but not the way I had it prepared last night. We're moving on here. We're about ready to wrap up the show. It's the Eli Young Band, Love Ain't, on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and the Eli Young Band, Love Ain't, in the Breakfast with Bubba show. We're in Fort Walton Beach. I can't believe we're arriving at the end of this broadcast already. It's been such a quick week going from sea to shining sea. Brought to you by the VA Medical System Ann Arbor and our friends at Bank of Ann Arbor. We're in Fort Walton Beach this morning. Josh Hock from Manchester is here. He is a hardworking airman in the Air Force. And are you alone down here? Are you married? What's the situation?
Well, I'm alone down here, but I have a fiance back home.
Oh, she's in Manchester?
She's in Saline.
Is she listening right now?
I hope so.
What would you like to tell her in front of, just you and a few 100,000 other people?
Well, I'd like to say hello. Hope you're doing well up there.
Very good. How often does she make her way down here?
She tries to come down here every couple months and try to get when we can.
Very cool. And how often do you have time off work? Like, could you take a weekend trip up home if you wanted to?
I could, but I'd have to take leave for that. I get 30 days a year, and taking a weekend, flights are expensive. So it's hard to get away for just a weekend. Normally I try to get about a week or two at a time.
Yeah, this is an expensive, little evilly expensive corner of Florida to fly out of. You know, if you take Spirit to Orlando or Tampa or Fort Lauderdale, it's pretty cheap. But up here, you pay a hefty price.
Yeah, it upwards about $400 every time.
Right. Yeah, it certainly adds up. And I didn't know the Fort Walton Beach. I've really dropped the ball on the Fort Walton Beach stop. I didn't know they had their own airport here.
You didn't know they had an airport. You didn't know they had a time zone.
So I flew into Pensacola, which is an hour and a half drive. So you know, me on a and the main bridge is out. So it was like these back roads that I took.
Yeah, you had to take a toll bridge just to get back onto this side of the water. And thankfully they took the toll out for now, but it's a hefty detour.
I'm glad you said that because I know I didn't pay a toll. and I had a hard time seeing. It was dark. I'm you know, next time we know. It's time to check traffic once again with Madison Raleigh. What do you got? 9 W4 Country and Die from a Broken Heart. It's Maddie and Tay in the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. We're getting ready to wrap this up. This is the segment where we have you say hi to whomever you'd like back home.
I'd like to say hi to my parents, Darren and Stacy Hock, my brother who's in the Navy, my sister Olivia, my fiance Amber Reed, her parents Shelly and Ed. I'd like to say all hi to you guys.
Very cool. Where's your brother stationed?
He's in basic training actually right now, so he's Great Lakes.
Maybe next year we can go visit him.
Maybe.
A good place to start. We'll wrap up the show coming up next. Right now, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, Happy Anywhere on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Happy Anywhere. It's Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani in the Breakfast with Bubba show. I can't believe we've already reached the end of the show. They're going so fast.
So very fast.
Very, very fast. Oh, are you, Madison?
There's a lot going on behind the scenes. That's all. I'm fine. I'll be fine. Everything's
there is, and she's told me there are two very specific ways I can buy her love. Mm-hmm. Heather, will you find out from her a little bit behind the scenes?
You know this. You should know, and I'm not telling anybody else to tell you. You should know.
Heather, help me out here.
We need to get Ryan back in here. Help you get the answers.
Oh, the interrogator.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, hang on, he was not one of the answers.
Oh no, sorry.
He was married. He had kids.
Let's have Madison interrogated. That could work.
I could pick up some of his skills. That would be good.
Absolutely. So we are done here. Thank you so much, Josh, for being very generous with your time this morning. We appreciate it, and hopefully your family back home enjoys hearing from you.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Thank you for coming up, because this is if you're just listening, it's always kind of weird because we do these shows in a hotel room, and 99.99% of the time I've never met the military member that we're meeting. It's like, hey, I'll be in town at 1:00. Meet me in my hotel room. Come on up, and that's where we've got the studio. So it's a little bit of a bizarre situation into which to walk, and I appreciate you doing that. You were great on the air today. We are flying this afternoon to Virginia Beach, Virginia, actually Norfolk, and I'll be down in Virginia Beach with Zachary Jewell from Britain, and we have Grant Tungate from Manchester, another Manchester boy that we'll be with tomorrow, and we will talk to you then. Thank you so much for listening. Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor, thank you so much for sponsoring this trip.
Thank you. We love doing it. It's our favorite week too.
And let's stick around for more music for your workday and a better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta coming up next. We'll talk to you in Virginia Beach tomorrow. Bye-bye.
You can wave so we can.
Where's my hand?
Where's my hand?
Wave your sock.